Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, April the 23rd. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set to rally this morning with ASX futures up around 1.25%. This follows a strong session on global markets overnight, with major indices on Wall Street climbing more than 2.5%, recovering the previous day's losses, with investors buoyed by earnings results. Hints at the de-escalation of U.S. China trade tensions also encouraged buyers. Tesla shares surged ahead of its quarterly results after the bell. The EV maker saw profit fall by less than expected, while saying it would revisit its annual outlook in its next earnings report due to the impacts of shifting global trade policy. It also said it plans to release a cheaper car in the first half of 2025. Other mega-cap names also rose, including Apple, with its shares up more than 3%. Shares of industrial conglomerate 3M jumped after the company posted better than expected first quarter profit expectations, though it warned of a likely hit to its profit from tariffs. Northrop Grumman shares slumped after reporting a sharp drop in profit. Aerospace and defence company also tumbling after flagging a potential $850 million hit to its annual profit due to tariffs. An aircraft manufacturer, Boeing, gained after agreeing to sell part of its digital aviation business to Thoma Bravo. The International Monetary Fund has slashed its forecast for growth in the United States and China due to the impact of US tariffs, while warning that further trade tensions would slow growth further. It cut its forecast for global growth by half a percentage point to 2.8% for 2025. It downgraded its forecast for US growth by almost 1 percentage point to 1.8% in 2025, and China's growth forecast was cut to 4% for this year and next. Meanwhile, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that he believes there will be a de-escalation in US China trade tensions, which come amid reports that US trade deals with Japan and India are close. On the data front, in the US, the Richmond Fed's Business Survey Index turned sharply negative, while the Philadelphia Fed's Non-Manufacturing Survey Index fell deeper into contraction. The US Treasury long-term yields reversed some of the previous day's bond sell-off. Yields had jumped on Monday as President Trump called for the removal of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. US 10-year yields were at 4.39% and the 2-year around 3.8%. And the US dollar regained some ground on hopes of a de-escalation in US China trade tensions. The Aussie dollar has jumped almost 2% to 63.7 US cents. And Bitcoin has surged to be at 93,000 US dollars. Oil prices have gained as new US sanctions against Iran and rising equity markets prompted a recovery from the prior session's sell-off. Brent crude futures up almost 2% at $67 a barrel. Copper has jumped more than 2.5%, while iron ore is slightly weaker at $99 a tonne. And gold has fallen more than 1% after briefly touching another record high of more than $3,500 an ounce earlier in the session. US gold futures are at $3,419 an ounce. It is a quiet day locally on the data front. On the corporate calendar, we can expect quarterly reports from Atlas Arteria, Aurelia Metals, Insignia Financial, Paladin and Woodside. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.